Imagine, which means to stand. Panyakudam, which means to turn and face that way. Opening up the Feast of Tabernacles. We're going to open up with the Lord's Prayer, beginning with the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanaw, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Wasalak Lanaw, Kal Wathnaw, Kasalak Naw, Kal Wathinaw, Wala'ah, Tawaya Naw, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Naw, Mayan, Rakaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Watha Parad, Lawalumyum, Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The Akak, of the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baba Kushai, Nathanaw Hakak, Hakak Larapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak Latahar, Ha Matazarayim, Hakak, Lakwayam, Ha Matthew, Hakak, Al Rakawa, Atama'ala, Lagar Shun, by Shem Yahushai, the Wadaman, in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. All right, we're going to read the blessings for Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Wahabayat Saparyam, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Wadaman. What we just said in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Psalms, the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharyam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratazah, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shalmar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarah, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aita, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms, the 121st chapter in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. We're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Aldama Yalaka, All Thacharash, wa all Thashakwat, all Kayahana, Awa Yabyaka, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yarayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Awada, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, Laba, Yahadwa, Alyaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Washamayalium, Mawa'aba, Wagaryam, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Palashah, Am Yeshabya, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zawai, Labanya Lawat, Salat, Aishalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yabmawa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairashah, Lanawa, Af, Na'awat, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Aryam, Khan, Tharadapma, Basa'iraka, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wabahawa, Adya'ai, Wakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya'atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Alka, Harataza. Psalms the 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yashala may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederate against thee the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, at the brook of Jabin, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right, we're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Ma'aka Allah? Why Lahayim? Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana, Halawapyam, Hasaranyam, Hakwatazayanyam, Hakayayoyam, Wahagwathian, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, the Walaman, in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Sorry, while you're shopping, you can turn to be seated. All right. We're going to be in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. We're going to read through all of the feast days in Hebrew and in English. All right, 7 verses at a time. We're going to begin in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, beginning at verse 1. Where Debar Yahweh al-Mashah la'amar, verse 2. Debar al-Banya Yashar Allah wa Martha Allaham ma'wa'ayya Yahweh Ashar thakar wa'atham, verse 3. Shashat yamayam Aisha Malaka, Labayawam, Hashab Ya'aya, Shabbath 1, Makora'ah, Kodash Kal Malaka, La'ath, Aishua, Shabbath, Hawa Allah, Yahweh Bakal, Mashawa, Mawasha, Bath Yakam, Mawashabath Yakam, verse 4, Allah Mawa'ayya, Yahweh, Makora'ah, Atham, Mawa'ayjam, verse 5, Bakadash, Hara'ash 1, Ba'ara, Ba'aiha, Aishara Lakadash Bayan, Ira Bayam, Pasak La Yahweh, verse 6. Obaka Mashah, Aishara Yawam Lakadash, Hazaha, Kaga, Hamatazawath, La Yahweh, Lakim, Shaba Aitha Yamayam, Matazawath, Fa'akawa, verse 7. Bayawam, Hara'ashwan, Makora'ah, Kodash, Yahweh, Lakam, Kal Malakath, Abudah La'ath, Aishua. So we just read those in Hebrew. Let's get those same 7 verses in English. Whoever got it can read it. Verse Leviticus 23, verses 1 through 7. You got no Bible? Okay, no sweat. I'll read it. Give me 1 second. Pull it up. No sweat. All right, the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, beginning at verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Most High, even the holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. And the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. And the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no work, no servile work therein. All right, we're now going to read verses 8 through 15 in the Hebrew, beginning at verse 8. Wakara'ah, Batham Ashah la Yahweh Shaba'aitha Yamayam Bayawam Slaki Hashab Ya'aya, Wakara'ah, Kodash Kal Mala'ah, Katha Ibad, Abadah, La'ath Aishua, verse 9, where the bar Yahweh Amashah La Amar, verse 10, the bar Banya Yasha Allah wa Amartha, Allaham Kaya, Tabawa, Allah, Ha'arataza Ashar, Anaya, Nathan Lacham, Wadatazaratham, Ath, Amar, Ra'ashayath, Kwataza, Yarakam, Al Hakahan, verse 11, Wahanayab, Ath, Ha'amar, Lapanya, Ahawa, Laratazan, Nakam, Mamakarath, Hashabath, Yanaya Panah, Hakahan, verse 12. Wa Aisha Yatham, Bayawam, Hanaya Pakam, Atha, Ha'imar, Kabash, Tamayam, Ban, Shanathan, La'ila, La Yahweh, verse 13. Wamanakathawa, Shanaya, Asharanyam, Salath, Balawa, Bashaman, Asha, La Yahweh, Rayak, Nayakak, Wanasaka, Yayan, Rabba Ya'aitha, verse 14. Walakam, Wakwalaya, Wakaramah, La'ath, Akal, Lawa, Aid, Atazam, Hayuam, Hazaha, Aid, Habayakam, verse 15. Wasapatham, Lakam, Wamakarath, Hashabath, Mayawam, Habayakam, Ath, Imar Hathanawapa, Shabai, Shabathwath, Thamayamath, Thahayana. All right, so that was verses 8 through 15. We'll read those same verses in English, beginning with verse 8, Leviticus 23 and verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High 7 days. In the 7th day is an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and ye shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Most High, to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Most High. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Most High for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of an hin. Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto the Most High your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings. Right. I think I just needed to read 8 through 14. 15 we'll read next. All right, so let me skip down. Now we're going to go back to reading the Hebrew. We'll read verses 15 through 21 in the Hebrew, and then we'll read it in the English. 15, what's up with them? Lacham, Amakarath, Hashaba'ath, Mayawam, Habayakam, Ath, Imar, Hathanawapa, Shabai, Shabath Wath, Thamayamath, Thayana. Verse 16, I, Amakarath, Hashabath, Shabiaitha, Thasaparwa, Kamashim, Yawam, Wakorab, Thum, Manakah, Kadashah, La Yahweh. Verse 17, Mamawashabathikum, Thabayawa, Lakam, Kanawapa, Shatayam, Shanya, Aishar, Nayam, Salah, Thaya, Slaki, Thahaya, Yana, Chamataza, Thapayana, Bakawaryam, La Yahweh. Verse 18, Slaki, Karabathum, Al, Halachwan, Shaba'aitha, Kabashim, Thamayam, Banaya, Shana, Waparban, Bakwar Akkad, Wahalam, Slaka, Ayalam, Shanyam, Yahayawa, Ayla, La Yahweh, Umanakatham, Wanasak Yaham, Ashar, Rayak, Nayakak, La Yahweh. Verse 19, Waisha, Yatham, Shayar, Isayam, Akkad, Lachatath, Washanya, Kabashim, Banaya, Shanan, Lazabak, Shalamyam. Verse 20, Wachanayap, Hakahan, Atham, Al Lakam, Habaka Waryam, Thanawapa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Al Shanya, Kabashim, Kwadash, Yahayawa, La Yahweh, Lakahan. Excuse me. Verse 21, Wakora Thum, Ba'itazam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Makora'a, Kwadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Kal, Malakath, Abudah, La'ath, Aishua, Kakwath, Awalam Bakal, Mawashabathikam, Ladarathikam. All right, so that was verses 15 through 21. We'll read those in English, beginning with verse 15 in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Most High. And ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals. Salaki. And Salaki. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Most High. Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. And they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Most High, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Most High. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord, with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy unto the Most High for the priest. Verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the self same day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. You shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. All right, now we're going to read verses 22 down through 28 in the Hebrew. Beginning with verse 22. Uba kwatazar come, ath kwatazayar aratazakam, la'ath thakala pa'ath shadak, bakwatazaraka, walakwat, kwatazaraka, la'a, thalakwat, la'inaya, alagar, tha'izah, batham, anaya, Yahweh, alahayakam. Verse 23. Waya debar, Yahweh, mashallah, amar. Verse 24. Debar, al-banya, yasha'ala, la'amar, bakadash, hashab ya'aya, ba'akad, bakadash, yahaya, Lakam, Shabbath 1, Zakar 1, Thawai, Makora Akwadash, verse 25. Call Malakath, Ibadah La'ath, Aishua, Wakora Batham, Ashah, La Yahweh, verse 26. Wadabar, Yahweh, Amashah, La Amar, verse 27. Akba Aishar, Lakadash, Hashab Ya'aya, Hazahal, Yawam, Hakaparyam, Hawa'a Makora, Kodash, Yahaya, Lakam, Wa'ana Yathuk, Slaki, Wa'ana Yatham, Ath, Pashathyakum, Wakor Batham La Yahweh, verse 28, Wakar Mala'aka La'ath Aishua Ba'itazam Hayawam, Hazahaka Yawam, Kaparyam, Hawa'a La Kapar Ayakam, Lapanya Yahweh Alahayakam. All right, that was verses 21 through 22 through 28. We'll read those in English, beginning with verse 22 in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. All right, so now we're going to read verses 29 through 35. All right. Beginning at verse 29. Kayakal, Hanapash, Hashar, La'ath, Aina, Ba'itazam, Hayamam, Hazaha, Wanakarath, Ma'amiyah. Verse 30. Wakal, Hanapash, Hashar, Tha'aisha, Kal, Malaka, Ba'itazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Waha, Badya, Bad Thaya, Ath, Hanapash, Hawa'a, Makwapa, Ama. Verse 31. Kal, Malaka, La'a, Tha'aisha, Kakwath, Iwalam, Ladarathicum, Bakal, Mashabathicum, verse 32, Shabbath 1, Hawa'alakam, Wa'ina Yatham, Ath, Napash, Salaki, Napash Thayakam, Bathasha'aya, Lakadash, Ba'irab, Ma'irab, Id, Irab, Salaki, Tashambath, Shabbathkam, verse 33, Wa'ya Debar Yahweh Amashah, Amar, verse 34, Debar Banya Yasha'ala, Amar, Bakamashah, Ashara Yawam, Wakadash, Hashab Ya'aya, Hazaha, Kaga, Hasakawa, Shaba'ath, Yamayam, La Yahweh, verse 35, Bayawam, Hara'ashwam, Makara'ah, Kodash, Kal, Malakath, Abuda'ath, Al, Ta'aishua. That was verses 29 through 35. We'll read those in English, beginning at verse 29 in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. For whatsoever soul it shall be, whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. Verse 31. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the 1st day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to finish off this chapter. We're going to read from verses 36 down to 44. So we'll read verses 36 through 44. We'll read those in Hebrew. Beginning at verse 36. Shaba'itha yamayam takwar yaba yabawa asha la Yahweh ba yawam Hashem ya nya makwara'a kodash yahaya lakam wa korabatham asha la Yahweh itazarath hawa'a kal malakath abada la'at aishawa. Verse 37. Allah mawa ibad slahi mawa ibadya Yahweh ashar thakora'a atham makoraya kodash la korayab Asha la Yahweh Allah wa Malaka Zabak Wanasaka Kam Slaki Wanasaka Yum Debar Yawam by Wamwa, verse 38. Malabad Shabbatha Yahweh wa Malabad Mathan Nawath Yakam wa Malabad Kal Nadarayakim Darai Slaki Nadarayakam wa Malabad Kal Nabawath Yakam Ashar Thanawa La Yahweh, verse 39. Ak Bakamasha Ashar Yawam Lakadash Hashab Ya'ayab Basapakam Ath Abawa'ath Ha'arataza Takagawa Ath Kaga Yahweh Shabaitha Yamayam Bayawam Hara Ashwan Shabbathwan Wabayawam Hasham Yanya Shabbathwan Walakwakatham Lakam Bayawam Hara Ashwan Paraya Aitazah Hadar Kapath Thamar Yam Ha'inap Aitazah Ibath Wa Arabia Nakal Washamachtham Lapanya Yahweh Alahayaka Shaba'itha Yamayam, verse 41. Wakagatham Athawa Kaga La Yahweh Shaba'itha Yamayam Bashana Kohwath Awalam La Darathikam Bakadash Hashab Ya'aya Thakagawa Athawa, verse 42. Basakath Tashabawa Shaba'itha Yamayam Kal Hazarak Bayasharala Yashabwa Basakath, verse 43. Lamahaiwan Yadahaiwa Darathikam Kaya Basakath Salaki Basakawath Hawashab Shabbathya Ath Banaya Yasha'ala Bahawatazaya Amatha Ma'arataza Matazar Yam Anaya Yahweh Alahayakam, verse 44. Waya Debar Masha Ath Ma'idya Yahweh Al Banya Yasharala. All right. All right, we're going to read the last of the 23rd chapter of Leviticus, beginning with verse 36. It says, 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. To offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and drink offerings, everything upon his day. Beside the Sabbaths of the Most High, and beside your gifts, and beside your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Most High. Also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the 1st day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. And ye shall take you on the 1st day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and the willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. And you shall keep it a feast unto the Most High 7 days in a year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that the Israelites born shall dwell in booths. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths, when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. All right, so that is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. All right, so now we're going to just get a quick understanding of what today's feast day is. It's actually the last thing that we read, right? On the calendar, when you go into our feast days, right? All of our high holy days are outlined in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, all right? Now, we also keep a couple of civil days as well that you can find in the what people call the Apocrypha, right? So the Feast of Dedication we keep. Also, in the book of Esther that you can find in the Bible, the feast that's called Purim. That's also another feast day that we keep. Those are civil days, right? Those are days that we choose to keep in commemoration of our forefathers and the men and women that came before us and set these things up for us. Now, when it comes to law, what you must do, Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, is what outlines what you must do. You must celebrate these high holy days. So we went over the Passover, right? We went over the Day of Atonement. We went over the Feast of First Fruits, all right? All of those things you have to keep, and those are laws. There's no way around it. These are things that you must do, all right? Well, the last one that we just read is the Feast of Tabernacles, which is today, all right? The Feast of Tabernacles is a 7-day feast, all right? Which means you have an opening, which is today, and then next Thursday will be our closing when we close out. So it'll be 7 days total. On the last day, at the very end of that day, that's when we close out the Feast of Tabernacles. But it's a 7-day feast, which means we're supposed to, we're supposed to gather, which what was just outlined, right? You come together, you feast with your brothers, with your sisters, all right, and you make an offering unto the Most High. All right, I'm going to show y'all something. Now, there's something that we have to understand about the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Because we just read that in the Feast of Tabernacles, you got to dwell in booths. All right, so now what you'll see some people do, and I understand why they do it, right? Because it's what you see on the paper, right? So it seems like just do it exactly like it says, right? The Feast of Tabernacles is not about going to Walmart and buying a tent and living in that tent for 7 days. All right, that's not what it's about. It's also not about going on a camping trip with your brothers and going out and being in the wilderness for 7 days. That's not what the Feast of Tabernacles is about. I understand that you'll see some other Israelites doing that. You'll even see some Christian groups do that. They even do the Feast of Tabernacles, but they do it the way that they're not supposed to. You understand? It's not about renting tents with your buddies and going out into the forest and camping for 7 days. Like I said, I understand why they do it, but I'm going to explain why we're not in tents right now. All right. So we're going to be in the book of Nehemiah. You should pass me that Bible. I meant to bring my book bag in. All right. What? So I'm going to be in Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 14. Now, I want y'all to understand something, all right? When we go into Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the reason why we were dwelling in booths, literally, the Lord says, is because he wants us to be able. Matter of fact, we'll read that again. Salaki. We'll read that again. I'm going to pull that up again. Salaki. Because the Lord explains why we're dwelling in those booths. All right, so Leviticus 23 and 42 says, you shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. All right. Remember that. That's the reason why we dwell in booths on the Feast of Tabernacles for those 7 days. Now, I'm going to read something in the book of Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. All right. If anybody knows about the time of Nehemiah, it was a time when we had lost our way. You'll find that Nehemiah was very plagued with the fact that the men and women surrounding him were they had begun to follow heathen customs. All right. And the men was dealing with heathen women, specifically Moabite women and other women of other nations. So much so that they were mingling their seed, and their children couldn't even speak the Hebrew language. It was that bad. That's part of the reason why the Lord tells us that we got to deal with our own, because you can't mix cultures. That's why we get a woman. When you're a brother, you get a woman from your culture. When you're a sister, you get a woman. I mean, a Slaki. Don't do that. When you're a sister, you get a brother from your culture. That way your children don't grow up confused. In Nehemiah's time, these brothers and sisters were raising children that were growing up confused, couldn't even speak Hebrew. And you see how far that can go. Now, none of us can speak Hebrew because we've all lost all of our way. So Nehemiah was plagued in a time that he was seeing his brothers and sisters go off and start to follow the other nations. And a lot of these brothers and sisters was not keeping the law. But we're going to read something. Let me read it. Let me get Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. We're going to start at verse 14. And it says, and they found written in the law which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month. Now, this is once again talking about the Feast of Tabernacles. This is the feast that we're celebrating today. All right. Verse 15 says, and that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mount and fetch olive branches and pine branches and myrtle branches and palm branches and branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written. All right. That's the first thing we want to understand about this feast day. The first thing we want to understand, it's not about going to Walmart and getting you a tent or going out on a camping trip and bringing your boat out there and having a good old time. This was about humbling yourself before the Most High. This was about the Lord humbling you. And you would have to, no matter what your house was made, your house could have been made out of brick and mortar, a solid house. Well, for 7 days, you're going to get out of that solid house. You're going to get, what are these types of branches? Myrtle branches, palm branches, branches of thick trees, pine branches, olive branches. You're going to go get these little whimsical branches off of these trees. You're going to build yourself a tent out of branches. All right. That's the first thing. Verse 16 says, so the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths for everyone upon the roof of his house and in their courts and in the courts of the house of God and in the street of the water gate and in the street of the gate of Ephraim. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths and sat under the booths. Now this is the most important part. All right. The most important part is coming up. It says, for since the days of Joshua, the son of Nun, unto that day, had not the children of Israel done so. What you got to understand is it in the time of Nehemiah, from the time of Joshua, it's a 900-year span of time, 900 years since Joshua led the children of Israel into the land of Israel to the time of Nehemiah and under this captivity. 900 years. They had not kept the Feast of Tabernacles in booths since then. So what does that mean, though? Well, who lived and existed in that 900-year period of time? Well, you got Elijah, Elisha. You got David, who was a man after the Most High's heart. The Bible is saying that David never dwelt in booths on the Feast of Tabernacles. He had to keep the feast. All of the feasts that you find in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, he had to keep. Solomon. You understand? All the great prophets within that time period, they had never dwelt in booths. Y'all got to understand the spirit behind the Feast of Tabernacles. The spirit behind the Feast of Tabernacles is the Lord humbling you. That's what it's about. And at the time of Nehemiah, these brothers and sisters needed to be humbled. They needed to be reminded who their father was, because guess what we just read in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter? I'll read it again. Remember, this is the point. In Leviticus 23 and 43, it says that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. These brothers and sisters had to be reminded of that. That is the reason why these brothers and sisters had to keep this feast in those tents. All right, we're going to read something else real quick. All right. I ain't going to hold everybody too long. I'm going to read something else. I just want to make sure everybody gets a good understanding as to what this feast day represents and what it's about. It's going to be a little bit of reading, right? All right, let's read it. Exodus, the 33rd chapter. Let's see where I want to be. Yeah, Exodus 33rd chapter. We're going to read it verse 1. We're going to read down a little bit. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go up thence, thou and the people which thou had brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. And then now this is after the Exodus from Egypt. This is after the Most High had led the children of Israel out of Egypt through Moses, of course. And now these brothers and sisters, all of Israel, they're walking through the wilderness. And so the Lord is now giving Moses a directive, right? Depart and go up thence, Go to the place that I promised your forefathers, right? Verse 2 says, and I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite and the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite unto a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And this is part of the reason why the Lord tasked Moses with this, because the Lord knew if it was just up to him, he'll just kill all of the Israelites, because we're so stiff-necked and ridiculous as a people. We don't listen to nothing. All right. This is after we had already made the golden calf and everything, right? The Lord understood how stiff-necked and hard-headed we was. All right. We'll skip down a little bit. Let me see. All right, verse 7, it says, and Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. And it came to pass that every one which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation, which was without the camp. And it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up, and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses, until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended, and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And the Most High talked with Moses. And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. Here's what I want everybody to understand. The Exodus is the bread and butter to the Bible. Us being delivered out of the land of Egypt is the basis, it's the foundation of who we are. That's our identity, is the group of people that the Lord delivered out of the hand of Pharaoh. The most, at that time, probably the most powerful empire on the earth was the Egyptian empire. All right. And the Lord gave that empire 10 plagues to get us the hell up out of there. Split the Red Sea. This is the most famous story in the entire earth. Everybody knows this story. All right. That's our identity. Our identity is that group of people that the Lord delivered from out of that place. All right. Why did we have to be in the wilderness for 40 years? You know, that trek from Egypt into the promised land, into Israel, doesn't take that long, even if you're walking. But the scriptures say we wandered for 40 years. Why? Because the Lord had to purge us. Because remember, as soon as we got out of the land of Egypt, right, and we go into the wilderness, the children of Israel start getting impatient. They get mad that Moses is up on the mountain receiving commandments from the Most High because he was taking too long. Got impatient. And so what did they say? They said, look, I don't know what's become of this Moses, right? And this is after they done seen the Red Sea split. This is after they done seen the plague of frogs, the plague of locusts, after they done seen the water in Egypt turn to blood, after they done seen all of these things. They say, you know what? I'm tired of waiting on Moses. They turn to Aaron, the second in command, and they say, well, we're going to give you all of our earrings. We're going to give you all of our gold, and we want you to make us a god. Aaron said, okay, give me all your earrings. Give me all your gold. He melted all of them earrings down, all of the bracelets, all of the gold, and he created a golden calf, which is one of the gods of Egypt. That's why the Lord calls us stiff-necked, hard-headed. Because who in the hell in their right mind would see the Lord split the Red Sea, get you to go through it while the sea is split? I mean, you got water on either side of you. You can get through, but the Egyptian army behind you gets swallowed up into that water. What on earth would make you forget that and say, the God that got us out of there, he's not the real God. I miss the God in Egypt, because at least that God used to give us lentils and bread, used to give us quail, used to give us food. We hungry. We waiting on Moses to come off that mountain. This can't be God. It's how stupid we are as a people. Well, once again, the Lord, part of the reason why we have to celebrate this high holy day is because the Lord had to humble us. And in that wilderness, the Lord absolutely humbled us. We can read that all throughout. Let me see something. I want to, before we get out of here, I just want to read one more scripture. Now, one thing, let's see. One thing we also got to remember, I don't know how many of y'all was able to catch the class earlier where General Muhammad was breaking down some of the prophecies. All right. Y'all know World War III is on the brink. Now, we've been saying that for quite some time. I want y'all to understand it. Some people look at it like, oh, y'all been saying that since the 80s. Y'all been saying that since the 90s. Y'all got to understand, 40 years is not a long time to especially for something that was written 3,000 years ago. These prophecies was written 3,000 years ago. If I say, if it's the 1980s and we say Russia is and the U.S. is on the brink of war, and it take 40, 50 years for that to happen, that's not a long time. Wars take years to develop. We have to understand that these prophecies that we're reading out of this Bible 3,000 years ago, right? Even Christ said, "The Lord delayeth his coming." These things take time to happen. You understand? So, but now we're closer than ever. We're closer than ever. We see what's happening with what's going on with Russia, with North Korea, with China, all with BRICS, right? All of these things that you see are just it's the Most High's plan falling into action. Now, why is that important for a day like this? Especially when we're talking about the Lord made us to dwell in booths so that we can remember our exodus from Egypt. Well, because we're going to have another exodus. All right. There's an exodus that's coming to America. The Lord is going to exit us out of America by way of chariots. All right. And I can't teach all of end time prophecy in the amount of time that I have, but just the basic of it, right, is the Lord is going to initiate World War III between the nations. It's going to get bloody, it's going to get terrible. And in the midst of those nations fighting each other, nuclear warfare, all of those things, the Lord is going to send Christ down with those chariots. Those chariots are going to take us to the wilderness while we train. And those same arch enemies of each other, right? America, Russia, China, all of them going to be fighting each other. They're going to turn from fighting each other to now try to fight the Most High and try to fight Christ and his army. That's what prophecy says is going to happen. Well, that's why we have to train. Because just because the Lord is delivering us from the thermonuclear destruction that's coming to these places, that don't mean that we still ain't gonna have to fight. The scripture says in the book of Daniel that the saints shall take the kingdom. That means by force. That means it's something that we're gonna have to do. So we have to understand that you have to be prepared for this, or you won't make it. All right. So let's read Jeremiah the 30th chapter. And we're gonna read verse 18. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Salaki. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me. And I will punish all that oppress them." This is talking about the time that we're looking forward to. This is talking about the redemption of the children of Israel, right? But what did the Lord say? He said, "I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents." Understand that, for the Feast of Tabernacles, right? "And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God." Verse 23 says, "Behold, the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with a fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Most High shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it." Once again, these things are coming. We're going to, this is what we have to understand. The Lord is going to establish his kingdom. The Lord is going to establish his kingdom on earth. And y'all have to understand, the Lord is going to create a place for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to rule. And we're still going to be keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. So what does that mean? In the kingdom, once a year, we're going to come out of our beautiful dwelling places in Jerusalem, right? And we're going to go build tents for ourselves. That's going to happen. You understand? Because the Lord is going to make sure that we remain humble. Because we're royalty already, but we're not established royalty. We're royalty like what a lot of people would call pretend royalty. Because we only have the thought in our mind that we know we're supposed to be in a higher stature, right? So a lot of people would call that pretend royalty. Like that's why a lot of people, when we say what we say, they use that they try to make fun of us and say, "Oh, we was kings" type of thing. Like they try to make it seem like we're just playing pretend. But in all actuality, we just understand our worth because we went through these records and we found out who we actually are and who the Lord intended us to be. And the fact that these devils have persecuted us so terribly that now we've lost our identity, forgot who we are, and now we don't get to live and be the thing that the Lord designed us to be, right? But now, when that kingdom comes, the Lord is going to put us in our proper place. And so the Lord is going to make sure that we reign over all the heathen. And that can make somebody's head real big. It can make the wrong type of person. Some people don't deserve power. All right. However, the Lord is going to make sure that we remain humble. And part of that process is also the fact that every year, right, same time of year, for 7 days, we're going to dwell in booths. That's going to happen. All right. So just remember that. Now, once again, we're doing it's a 7-day feast, right? We close at the end of the 7th day, which would be next Thursday night. That's when we'll be closing. So we'll continue with our normal classes throughout the week, of course. However, next Thursday it'll be a Sabbath service just like this, and we'll have food and drinks and things like that. All right. Let me just check on something. All right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get closed out. I'll close out with the prayers. All right, imagine which means to stand. Panyaku down, which means to turn and face the east. So we're going to close out with the prayers. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Wanasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Raikaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wathabara, Laiwalamyam, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The Akak, the power and the evil. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baba Kushah, Nathan Lawa Akak, Akak Larpa'ah, Call Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Akak, Latahar, Hamatazariah, Akak, Lakwayam, Amathiam, Akak, Al-Rakawa, Al-Tama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yuadamun. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. We're going to read Psalms, the 121st chapter in Hebrew. Ashah, Ayanya, Aharyam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Waratazah, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yam Yanka, Yawaman, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayaraf, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Ayashamar, Atnafashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'itha, Wa'ai, Alam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharallah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83rd chapter in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Yalaka, Al Thakarash, Wa Al Thashakwat, Al Kayana, Awayabika, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yariyamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Yaitazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Awada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Wayath, Yakarathwa, Ahawya, Alawam, Wayashamaralium, Mawa'aba, Wagarya, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Palashah, I'm Yeshavia, Tazawar, Yamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanyalawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Ashamagwa, Bayan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Ka'ira, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasai Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairashah, Lanawa, Ath, Nawat, Alahayim, Shayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rakab, Ka'ash, Thabaira, Yaira, Bokalaba, Talahat, Aryam, Khan, Taradatma, Wasa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabalam, Mala'a, Kwanyaham, Kwalawan, Wabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wabahawa, Ayai, Wakaparwa, Wabadwa, Wadaiwa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al-Yawan, Al-Ka, Al-Ratazah. Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep that not silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
lo,
thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Yasharallah may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Agarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. So also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zair. Yea, all their princes as Abba, and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, and as a fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may see thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Ma'aka Allah, Wa Allahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawab Yahana, Ha'alawapim, Hasaranyim, Akwatazayanyim, Akayayayim, Wa Agrathim, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wa Laman. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Sorry, I'm going to salute out. Individual Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barak Thumb. Yahweh Matah.